What's good people? Welcome to Whole Views. Thank you for clicking that thumbnail. My name is Corey, and today we're going to be talking about Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. That's actually a wild title. When you look at the movie that you actually get, the beasts aren't really rising, they're just kind of there. This movie was good. It's good fun, but when you talk about cinema and like all the minutia of if this movie really stands up against some of the best stuff that you're gonna see this year, then obviously not. This is just a fun, turn off your brain popcorn film. The movie delivers in all the ways you think it would. This is gonna serve as the non-spoiler review, so I'm not gonna get into any details here, and then I'll come right back and do the spoiler review right after this. And when talking about the movie without giving anything away, one thing has always held true about Transformers movies, regardless if you liked Michael Bay's stuff or you didn't like Michael Bay's stuff, or you thought Bumblebee was the best Transformers ever, all those things probably have one thing in common, and that is the best stuff when it comes to lines of dialogue and when it comes to who are you most interested in. I think it's always going to be the Transformers, which makes sense because that's the franchise name, Transformers. Here it's painfully obvious that the human stuff, even though it's there to bring us humans along and have something that we can connect with, the emotional beats, the important plot points, the best dialogue, all that stuff belongs to the Transformers. The human element is, in my opinion, kind of laughable. It's really cheesy. A lot of it is really corny. I know it's all meant to inspire and drum up these emotions, and none of it lands for me. That doesn't mean the movie isn't fun and the movie isn't good. The movie is fun, the movie is good. But to say that stuff is the best stuff, I think that's a mistake. That stuff is not the best stuff. The best lines belong to Optimus Prime and Optimus Primal, the gorilla one. They have the best stuff, the most emotional stuff. The through line of who's the person we're following, you don't really care too much about the human element. It's the Transformers and what they're after and why they having this conflict this time around. That stuff is the best stuff in relation to this movie. That being said, the human performances were not really bad. The CGI was not really bad. Nothing about the movie stood out as awful. If there was anything that I would point to and say this is not good, it would just be, I'm guessing, the lines of dialogue and the human moments that were meant to drum up this emotion just came across as like cheesy and corny, and I didn't like it. One word I really want to use when talking about the humans is unbelievable. And I know it's the Transformers franchise. None of it is meant to be believable, but man, they really stretch your disbelief very hard in this one compared to the other ones that we've seen them do. It's just some of the things as they're unfolding, I'm just looking at the camera thinking, really, this is the decision that you come to? Really, this is the position that you take in this moment? Like, it just doesn't feel right when I'm thinking about the humans. In relation to the Transformers, the only other complaint I would have about the Transformers would be the lore is kind of all over the place, because based on the estimation that we're getting here, it appears as though the primal robots were, I don't know when they arrived, or like all that stuff is really jumbled and mixed. I thought you would have a better handle on things, based on a few trailers that I did see. But nah, you watch the movie and I kind of don't know when things are happening and how things are happening. It's just, it feels awkward trying to follow it. You don't know if Michael Bay's stuff is still in there. You don't know if this is all like prequel material or like the Bumblebee was a soft reboot. All that stuff is kind of a mixed bag in my opinion. But again, that's me getting into the minutia of the movie and really like picking nits and trying to figure out whether I like it or I dislike it, or like put a number to it and how good was it. Take all that and put it out of your mind. Was this movie worth paying for in the theaters? I would say yes. Was this movie a good fun experience? I would say yes. It's better than most of the Transformer franchise that you get. I'm feeling like the original Transformers from Michael Bay is probably the best. You got Bumblebee as a close like 1A, 1B, and then I would put this. It's better than pretty much all the other Michael Bay stuff. I had a pre-production discussion with my best friend. We're talking about where do you rank the Transformers, and I'm not high on 2, 3, 4, 5, all of Michael Bay stuff. I'm really not high on those. But Bumblebee was very refreshing, and I feel like this was pretty good pretty good. A very fun time. I laughed. It was very entertaining. Good story, good action, stuff that made sense. It was good. It was good. It was a fun time. So those are my thoughts on it. And I do recommend that people see it. And, you know, rewatchability, I don't know if I would sit through the whole thing again, but that's my experience. That's what I have to say about it. Come back and check out the spoiler review that's going to be posted shortly after this one. That's all we have to say for this one. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, and go watch something good.